What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Friday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt. To follow me on Twitter. This podcast being brought to you by BetMGM, and the offer for new users, it's a $1,000 first bet offer. Promo code JUICE at BetMGM.com. All right, back into the green. Last night, we get a 2-3 night, but because we went 2-1 for our 2-0 in our full unit bets, and then we got the gift parlay wrong. 4 goals in the second period, by the way, for the over 5.5. None in the first period, unfortunately, so we lost that bet. Both NBA player props went down. 0-2 on that. And then we got the plus 110 on the over to make it back a little. So basically, I think it was 1 unit. It was either 0.9 or 1 unit up last night. So still in a hole, but we make up for last night. And now we got to get cracking on that bad night we had where we went 0-4. We got to get cracking on that, trying to make a dent in that here on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to see if we can get ourselves back to square or even maybe into the green for the week. Now, there's 2 NBA games, and I am completely perplexed by what I'm going to do. I've got one bet on one of them that I like. Number play, but I like it. I don't know what to do with the side and total for either game. I lean Boston. I lean Nuggets. Without Chris Paul, I know the Suns are supposed to win Game 3. I just don't know yet. I mean, I want to watch the line movement. I want to watch where the steam goes. I'm not going to always follow steam, but I want to see it. I don't want to bet these games overnight. I want to see what happens. I think Boston wins the game in Philly. I'm not positive. I think Denver could win the game outright in Phoenix. I'm not positive. I gotta wait, okay? So I got a hockey play. I got a baseball play. I've been watching baseball and waiting. We're going to start to get involved with a bit more, start adding to baseball, little time, Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, probably where I'll start betting baseball on the weekends, kind of avoid it during the week, but then get into it during the weekend, try to get one baseball bet as we'll start to transition our way. We have enough data now. We can start to take a look at how these teams are playing, give us a chance to start to find some edges and some angles that we want to play here. I got one bet for us coming up today. But before we do that, let me tell you a little bit about how you guys can win a free year of BettingPros Premium on our application. It's very easy to win this. All you have to do is subscribe to the BettingPros YouTube channel, like this video, and leave me a comment underneath. Tell me your favorite bet for today. What's your favorite play on the board? Baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever it might be. If you are the one that gets to win the BettingPros Premium upgrade for 1 year, what you will get is access to a premium suite of tools and services to help you win more bets. Top-rated bets including a 1 to 5 star pick for spread totals and prop bets. You get bet signals. You get custom app alerts that can be set up to instantly notify you of line movement, much like today with the 2 NBA games that I've been talking about. To get the Betting Pros app, it is free in the iOS or Android stores. You can sync your sportsbooks up to this app and track your bets across all major sportsbooks all in one spot. Filter and track your bet performance, including by sport, game picks, props, parlays, and more. Get personalized bet recommendations tailored to your interests as well with Betting Pros Premium. Okay, let's talk first a little hockey. The only thing I know what to do is bet over Edmonton and the Golden Knights. They're the number 1 road team, the Edmonton Oilers. 6-4 final. Vegas wins. 6.5, minus 125. You got to fire on it. It's a little juicy, but I don't know how we don't. It's one of those things. I don't want to call it a general principle play, but McDavid and company are favored. If the Oilers win the game's going over. If the Knights win the game, it could go under. That's possible. But I think they tied up. I think they even it up 1 game apiece. And I think they get at least 4, maybe more. They had 4. Draisaitl scored 4 himself in game 1. Talk about props. You want to bet a prop? How about Draisaitl to have a point tonight? Over half a point? Yeah. Or McDavid over half a point? Yeah. Or parlay those together, McDavid and Draisaitl both to have a point tonight? Yeah. Like that play as well. Official play, though, 6.5, over, minus 125. Knights and the Oilers It's Skinner against Brossois. Come on. Rinse and repeat. Over 6.5. Vegas and the Oilers. Bet number 2. So let's talk about team totals. Celtics and the 76ers. Okay. Is Embiid going to play? Well, it doesn't really matter. For this bet, at least. Does Embiid play or not? Boston Celtics team total for the game is 107.5. It's minus 115. Boston has scored 121 and 115 points so far. Boston averaged 118 points scored in the regular season per game. Boston scored 116 points on the road on average per game this season. Boston was the number 1 offensive team in the first half in the NBA. We've talked about this a lot. They averaged 61 points per half in the first half of the year. Boston scored a ton in game 2. They scored a lot. Even when they lost game 1, they still scored a ton. Now they're going on the road here. Philadelphia averaged 110 points given up this season and 108 given up in their last 3 games. The number's 107.5, right? Because that's what Philly's been giving up. I just think Boston's got a chance to score here. And if Embiid doesn't play or is limited, I think Philly's going to go back to playing how they played in game 1, which is up-tempo, fast-paced, back-and-forth basketball. I don't know if Boston covers the 2 points. This is the thing. Point spreads don't matter. Either the dog wins or the point spread gets covered. It's kind of Warriors last night, right? Didn't matter what the number was. 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7. Didn't matter. All those numbers hit. Warriors killed the Lakers. We're looking at a ridiculous number, by the way, for if there's in the next round, if the team loses game 1 who has home court in game 2, oh boy, hammer that. That is a crazy trend right now that's rolling. But it's now what? It's now 15 of 17 times ATS that it's hit. It's pretty impressive. Boston, I think, gets over 107.5 points tonight. I really do. I think Boston covers the 2. That's a lean, but I don't know if I'm going to play it. I'm not there yet. Don't know about the total. 214.5. I lean over on that as well. But I'm just going to say Boston scores 108 points tonight. That's what they've averaged giving up. Philadelphia, and again, Boston scored 121 and 115 points in the first 2 games. Boston went 1-1 in games in Philadelphia this season. So they have won a game in Philly. They lost their last game of the year on April the 4th to Philadelphia by 2. I think Boston scores 108 points. Over 107.5 Celtics team total at minus 115. 1.15 units down on that. And finally to baseball. First fives. Let's talk about the Reds and the White Sox. Reds are at home. Lance Lynn to the bump up against Hunter Green for the Reds. Lance Lynn, last 5 starts, has given up 24 runs in total, 7 of those coming in 2 road starts. His road ERA is 4.86. Now, his home ERA is over 9. Road ERA, though, is 4.86. White Sox on the year are averaging 2.25 runs scored in the first 5 innings this season on the road. Green, his last 5 starts, only given up 8 runs, but he has a home ERA of 4.26 so far. The Reds are averaging scoring 3.2 runs per 5 innings this year at home, and we know that Cincinnati can be somewhat of a launching pad. The total for the first 5 here is 4.5, over juiced to minus 120. Not expensive, and we've got offenses that should get pitches to hit. We need 5 runs here between the Reds and the White Sox. I'm going to start to look at first 5 overs. Going to try to get involved with first 5 because first 5 unders are just really hard to watch. I mean, it's just kind of like you're holding your nose. But I hate the ghost runner and I hate bullpens. So focusing on starters and focusing on teams that have offenses that can score at times and that teams with these pitchers who are not very good, numbers that are somewhat accessible and attackable. 4.5 is not a huge number. 5 runs in the first 5 innings, very possible. Let's get that. Minus 120, 1.2 units down. Reds, White Sox over 4.5 runs in the first 5 here tonight on a Friday. Okay? So for right now, that's all we're going to play. Oilers, Knights over 6.5 at minus 125. Boston Celtics over 107.5 team total at minus 115. And the Reds and the White Sox first 5 over 4.5 runs at minus 120. There could be an ad. Okay. I may put one bet. I may bet the Suns. I may bet the Nuggets. I may bet the Celtics. I may bet the over in that game. I may bet the over in the Suns and the Nuggets game in game 3. I may have one more play. I may add. But right now, for today, for this morning, for the overnight, that's all I've bet so far. We'll see what we do today later on inside the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to get in, or the link is underneath me on YouTube. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. I am always thankful to get to do this job. I love doing this job every night. I love getting to talk to you guys. I have so much fun every day doing this podcast. People ask me all the time, how do you do this? It's just what I love to do now. Getting to talk to you guys every day and having you guys listen and watch this podcast every day is truly something that I will never take for granted, and I really appreciate it. Win or lose, fade or follow, right? This is about the community. It's about having fun. You guys want to fade my bets, you want to follow my plays, whatever you like to do. This is about us having a good time and, well, living in the toy department, if you will, right? Not in the real world, having some fun betting on sports. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at Sports Talk Matt each and every morning. It is the Daily Juice Podcast being brought to you by BetMGM.